What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about cha-ching, The Sisters Brothers by Patrick DeWitt. So, guys, this book was actually recommended to me by my friend Noah a while back, so I knew I was going to get into it, and I'm glad I did. It is a Western, but it's kind of an unconventional Western. One could say maybe an unconventional dark comedy Western, if I dare. It is definitely a different take on the genre. I actually saw an interview with Patrick DeWitt where he was saying that he's not somebody that really writes Westerns or knows a whole lot about Westerns even, and I do think that that plays a big part in this thing having that different feel. So, that going in, just know, guys, some people that are searching for a very Western feel might not like this book, but the ones that are looking for that different vibe are probably going to really dig it. Let's get into it. Okay, so The Sisters Brothers tells a tale of two brothers known as Eli and Charlie Sisters. These guys work for a guy named the Commodore, and the Commodore has sent them on like a headhunting mission. He sent them after a prospector who has supposedly stolen something from the Commodore. We don't really know what, but it doesn't matter because the Commodore is the boss, and so Charlie and Eli are sent out to find this man, and along the way, what should be a very straightforward task does seem to take some, turns. I won't say twists, but what unravels is not necessarily so straightforward. Okay, so diving right in, I want to get into this writing style of Patrick DeWitt's because I think it's very noticeable, especially if you're somebody that reads Westerns, you're going to notice a different vibe, a different feel. Now, this could be very refreshing, or maybe this could annoy you a little bit because you were searching for that Western-style prose, something like Blood Meridian or Congregation of Jackals or something. This does not feel like those books at all. Though it's a Western, it has the contents and the characters of a Western in it, it just is going to give you a different vibe, for sure. Going into this book, I thought it was going to be pretty violent, and it does have some violence in it for sure. And I think that the violence that's on display is so awesome. It's really vivid and visceral and sticks with you. There's some scenes in here that I can still remember clear as day, like I just read it a second ago, and it's that kind of stuff is awesome, and I wish there was more of it. I know that's a psychopathic ask, you know what I mean? I'm the dude in the Coliseum screaming, more lions and more blood, come on, but it just, the thing is, I thought there was going to be a little bit more in it, and I guess I was a little disappointed just because when it did hit, it was so goddamn good. I just could have used a little bit more of that good old-fashioned ultraviolence. Another thing I really enjoyed about the book is the relationships that are in it. I mean, there's the obvious ones. So you have the brothers, Eli and Charlie Sisters. And this thing kind of gets sold, like its blurb is like that Eli doesn't really want to do these bad things, and Charlie's this guy that's up to no good and just bringing his brother along. And that is somewhat truthful, I would say, but really, I was expecting like Charlie to be this horrible demon fucking child of a man and Eli being like innocent, but no, both these guys have horrible behavior on both sides. Yes, Eli does contemplate his moral compass, but it's not really necessarily a relationship where one is just horribly bad and the other one's this good guy. No, it very much plays out like two brothers. And I really did like that, the way that they dig at each other, the way that they kind of push one another forward. It felt like brothers. There's another relationship between Tub and Eli. Tub is the horse of Eli, and I just loved this relationship. I felt like it was heartfelt in something that has a lot of dark, just dark everything. The comedy is dark, the backdrop is dark, the characters are dark. There's a lot of darkness here, but I do think that the relationship between Tub and Eli is something that's a shining moment and brings levity and just, good vibes to the tale. And it's not just the obvious relationships, it's also the ones that are just quick encounters. This is during a time where people were really reaching for the stars, trying to accomplish the impossible, so this brought them all over the place, and sometimes they're very secluded, and this makes them out of touch with the real world, and just these little encounters are quite a bit of fun as well. Some of the stuff that people might take issue with the book is, for one, I could see people taking issue with most of the female characters being prostitutes. I do have to say that this is a Western book, like time period, and people are like, oh, that doesn't mean not everybody was a whore in the West, Mark. But yes, I get that. But it's also how this story is told, like through this perspective and these kinds of characters, the company that they would keep. It's not that far of a stretch, but still, just, some people will probably get pissed off that the female characters are all prostitutes. The big issue I saw here with the book is the pacing, because it doesn't necessarily feel like a seamless ride from beginning to end. Instead, like as you kind of get these scene breaks, and like it feels like a series of events, like broken onto the next. So it's a jarring feeling as you're changing scenes. It's like, yes, the story's being pushed forward, but it feels kind of neck-breaking. Another thing about the book that's not the strongest is the plot. Like, the plot is not this thing that's massive or in-depth or aha moments, stuff like that. No, it's a very, simple plot. It's not plotless, but sometimes it almost feels like it is, just the way that the story kind of unravels itself. So I could definitely see people kind of complaining. For me, not a deal at all. This is not a big story, guys, so I'm not going into it thinking that I'm jumping into a vast, rich world. No, it's a short story. It's not really a short story, but it's, what I'm saying, it's a fucking short book, goddammit. Now, as far as my 2 cents for the slow and the struggling, yes, absolutely. The Sisters Brothers could be for you, especially if you're looking for a kind of different take on the Western genre. Guys, this book is quick. You're gonna start it and finish it. Even with that jarring pacing, you could still devour this thing rather quickly. And the thing about Patrick DeWitt's writing style, like I said, it not being like a lot of the other books within the genre, is it's not going to slap you with a shit ton of $5 words, okay? It's very modern and straight to the point, kind of bare bones, if I'm really going to say it straight, okay? So this kind of stuff is easy to read. If it's in your wheelhouse of interest, you're going to be able to get through from beginning to end, no problem. All right, guys, as always, thanks for spending some time down here at the channel. And to Patrick DeWitt, I salute you, sir. This thing was definitely much different than I was expecting getting into it, but I did not feel like you wasted my time at all. I actually quite enjoyed it, and those little bits of your violence will stick with me, sir, and that means a lot to a sick fucker like myself, all right? All right. For all you guys out there, you fucking rascals and tumbleweeds, you just do whatever the fuck you want to do down there in that little box thing. Anything goes. All right. You know what time it is.